torpedo that sunk the Cheonan and took the lives of 46 South Korean sailors was fired by a North Korean submarine.
This intro was insane when I was younger. It felt very real. Even now, I still love it. The music choice, the directing, and these infographic visuals I'm a huge fan of. In general, I'm just a sucker for news montages like this where they rapidly convey like increasingly dire information. This game is pretty famous for correctly predicting a lot of stuff. Obviously, you got Kim Jong-il dying, friggin' avian flu, U.S. internal instability and withdrawing from the Middle East wars in general. I mean, that's not very difficult to predict. As well as North Korea trying to be more present on the world stage with like tourism and stuff. I do find it very funny, like their original depiction of Kim Jong-un though. Looks like he should be a K-pop dancer or something. Just has this very eerily realistic feel to it, especially looking back at how much stuff has changed in the past 10 years. And along that line, we're a couple weeks away from this game being 15 years old. March 14th. But in the 7th console generation, when everyone's trying to copy Call of Duty, I would say Homefront probably did the best job at it and was the most successful. Kind of a mix between Call of Duty and Battlefield, I would say. Aside from Red Dawn, it's obviously very inspired by the US invasion missions from Modern Warfare 2, which were also inspired by Red Dawn. And in my opinion, those are the best missions in the Call of Duty franchise, so I can't blame them for wanting to make the whole game based off that vibe. But while the inspiration from Call of Duty and Battlefield was great for its multiplayer, it results in a campaign that just feels very confused with what it wants to do. If there's anything to be said for this game, it's got some sauce. I remember the game manual back in the day was this like Chinese-style little red book describing how to be a model citizen in the new United States. However, I think they blew a lot of their budget on like E3 marketing with all the soldiers and the balloons, as well as getting real-world brands for the game, which I think the funding should have gone somewhere more important. This feels like Invincible. We're putting the money in the wrong place here.
The second thing, which I think has been a huge win for us overall, is going after real-world brands.
We really want to get these brands in here because they're part of the fabric of American life.
Yeah, man. But we'll see a lot of missed opportunities in this game that I imagine were likely just due to a lack of resources, so why spend money on brands and extravagant marketing stunts? Cloverfield showed us how you can still drum up marketing buzz with a modest budget. Actually, both Homefront and Cloverfield had very similar budgets, but I get that movies and games are two different things. Soundtrack's actually pretty good too, which can do a lot of heavy lifting. And it's got decent world building, although a lot of it's told through collectibles as well as these pre-release developer diaries, in which we have this one guy who's taking this super seriously.
That involves a EMP strike.
EMP is an electromagnetic pulse.
Hey, thanks man, I had no idea. But yeah, there's lots of newspaper articles and little loading screens to help fill in the blanks with how the world got to this point, kind of similar to Wolfenstein The New Order. Is that a tiger tank? What's a tiger tank doing here? Oh, maybe it is Wolfenstein. Like they irradiated the Mississippi River to cut the country in two, which I think is a super cool idea. Although one thing I don't like is how both Homefront and Homefront The Revolution do this whole Korea's a tech giant, the US buys microchips from them, and now Korea has a backdoor to disable all of the US military thing. Now granted, original Homefront isn't as in your face with it. This newspaper article is the only like hint to that, so I just kind of write it out of my head canon and ignore it because I think it's silly. But is this to parrot like the real world situation with China? Because the US gets its chips from Taiwan, not the CCP. And why would the US knowingly buy exploitable technology from a country that obviously hates them? Wait a minute. This has led a lot of people to ask, well, why didn't you make the villains China? Well, aside from the obvious reasons of wanting to do business there, they actually have an interesting in-world explanation. Although I do find it funny that the game still ends up getting banned in South Korea and Japan. Which, speaking of which, the biggest issue that I have still with the speculative setting remains the fact that North Korea can just unify with South Korea in like a couple years. It's only explained in the newspapers, which many people aren't really going to see, and it's depicted as like a voluntary, peaceful unification due to increasing nationalism between both the North and South, as like, oh, we're just Koreans, and then the South feels like the US presence is becoming unnecessary. But how does that just like happen? Is it like a North Korean like psyop or disinformation campaign? They say that Kim Jong-un is super charismatic and that's how he did it, but it's like North Korea's been a dictatorship ever since it became a thing, and now they just turned a new leaf and we instantly believe them? Like, South Korea doesn't have mandatory military service just because it's funny, and they're not gonna axe US support at the drop of a hat. I don't know, I'm not an expert when it comes to Korean politics. Maybe a lot of South Korean men would prefer to unify with the North given the recent gender divide. But other than that, there's a lot of interesting lore that's sadly only told through these newspapers and like on the wiki, and some of it's pretty fascinating to read, which just makes it a shame that the universe wasn't more developed. And I feel like they should have played up the internal conflict in the US more. I mean, yeah, I know they have the intro, but this was 2011. This was the year that Rainbow Six Patriots got revealed. You could get away with way more like heavy political statements back then. Like, it would have been neat to see Americans more at each other's throats, because it seems like they basically got invaded in the middle of a Civil War, Fall of Rome style situation.
There are multiple examples of sudden rises and sudden falls. Ancient Greece, Mongolia, Japan.
So when you say how could a mighty power like the USA fall, it's really a combination of elements. It's the decline of the USA due to internal factors and global geopolitical situation.
We do see a bit of this tension, but it's more of like the resistance needs to stop involving themselves, you're gonna get us all killed style thing. Like, they should have had people say they prefer living under the Koreans as opposed to the political hellscape that America was over the past 10 years. Like, I've been watching Man of the High Castle. I hear the ending sucks. I guess I'll find out. But it could have been like that, where life is much easier under rule than it is to rebel against it.
Most people are different, depending on whether they're hungry, safe, or scared.
This is one thing that I do like that the Revolution did, is that they had collaborators living in luxury, but overall the Revolution is just a much messier premise than the original game. These sentry towers are cool. I'm a sucker for dystopian broadcast messages over loudspeakers.
Things are smart, but they're not that smart.
The stupid things don't have object permanence, they forget about you after like 2 seconds. It doesn't send out an alert if it spots something, and nobody gets notified if it gets blown up. This is good though, because it leads us into our gameplay dissonance.
In a lot of shooters you have the best equipment and great number of allies and an army behind you. In this case, you're civilians turned freedom fighters, and you have to fight against this greater force that has better equipment than you do.
We have a pet unmanned Korean tank that saves the day on multiple occasions. What are you talking about? How do we even keep this thing supplied with rockets and ammo and fuel? Where do we even keep it? Don't the Koreans have like a tracker on it or something, like a transponder to know where it is? And we have infinitely respawning allies. The other resistance fighters have the same animations and AI as the Koreans. They don't really feel like civilians, but I'll chalk this up to budgetary constraints. And it is something that the Revolution did try to improve on. The first mission ends with us getting drone striked and fading to black.
So you take more punishment than a man could live through.
It's not what I want in a game where I'm supposed to be like an average guy fighting superior odds. This Oasis camp feels like it was supposed to be like a hub to return to after each mission was done, kind of like the Retribution from Infinite Warfare, or I guess a better comparison would be the apartment building from Wolfenstein. Again, maybe if the game had more resources, this could have been the case, but...
This receiver should let us listen in on Korean radio chatter. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, but any warning's better than none, right?
Can't they do that back to us? The OPSEC in this game on the radios is really bad. Like, we're just naming locations, everyone's using their real names. Also, wouldn't a gunship with thermals or like drone recon spot this area immediately, even with your little camo scrim? The developer commentary shows the US is like a survivalist nation and how the Oasis has to be resourceful, yet we have an unmanned tank with unlimited fuel and ammo.
Buckets are now water collectors. The children's toys are still there, but they might just be repurposed for something else. This is a survivalist nation now.
Hopper rigged this system up so I don't have to haul the water by hand anymore. Hopper's our resident mechanical genius. Hell, he even managed to hack Goliath to fight for us.
The game as a whole is just full of Call of Duty tropes, like we gotta wait for the tank to pass. Hold on, I gotta open the door. I got blown up, fell off the thing. Here at the turret segment, I gotta fall off another thing. Now I gotta take out the helicopter, blow it up with your super tank. Then you got the sniping mission, you fall off another thing, then you fly the helicopter, then you ride on the side of the helicopter. You use a freaking Reaper drone. They even have the Call of Duty 4 jump scare guy from Crew Expendable.
That's the last of them.
Why are we doing slow-mo Call of Duty breaches in this game? Like, I get having the different set pieces for gameplay variety, but having one guy do everything negates the whole average everyday civilian resistance fighter thing. It would have been better as like an anthology game, where you follow a variety of different characters rather than play as one guy. Although even from the initial reveal trailer, it's clear that they always wanted this to be a very bombastic style Call of Duty campaign.
Goliath's in the backyard! It'll rip through the house!
Major Kusanagi, what are you doing here? The game can play like Call of Duty, that's fine, but just don't have it do Call of Duty things when we're not supposed to be a Call of Duty soldier, which I guess leads us into the weapons. There was some interview they did back before this game came out, I can't find it anywhere, but they mentioned how you're going to be using, I'm using old hunting rifles and shotguns. Meanwhile, obviously the Koreans have their body armor and rifles and stuff. Just generally trying to sell that underdog kind of resistance fighter thing, right? Unfortunately, the closest thing we get to that is the M16 being a single shot, like it's a civilian AR-15. And I never liked how the M4 sounded. It sounds like somebody doing like a drum solo. But the gunplay, the sound design, the animation is all pretty good for a AA style game. It can be a bit stiff, but it still scratches that Call of Duty itch that they're obviously trying to replicate. Although there's one oversight that I don't know if they meant for this to be in the game. I don't know if they wanted to fix this and make this not the case, but you can't shoot through thin materials. Like a sheet of plywood will block a 50 cal shot, so it's kind of weird. Also, I like the impact sound effect of getting hit. It's very satisfying and tells you, hey moron, get out of the line of fire, you're getting shot at. One thing that still baffles me though is like, why are the Koreans using American weapons? Like you're just introducing more ammunition to the ecosystem for your enemies to use against you.
And training on American weapons and getting a lot of modern training.
It would have been cool if they used those weird helical mag AKs that they have in real life. The weapon variety in general is just kind of underwhelming. Which I get it, it's the US, you're gonna get a lot of AR pattern rifles, but again, like have some AKs and some Eastern weapons. Although I do like the variety of optics that they have. I mean, I imagine this was for like budgetary reasons, so the jump from campaign to multiplayer isn't so jarring. Like in the campaign, you're using hunting rifles and stuff, and then you go to play multiplayer and it's all just automatic weapons. It's unfortunate, but I get it. And speaking of unfortunate, the characters.
An interesting place for us to be on this one, because everybody's expectations is military shooter. We want guys who are professional, but you know, guys who are really professional in war, like robots. And for us, they're not professional military people. They're resistance fighters. They're all civilians.
Most of the main characters are former military or law enforcement, so it doesn't really fit the average everyday American thing. The player character, Jacobs, is a former Marine helicopter pilot, which I guess is to hand wave why he immediately has weapons proficiency. But being a Marine pilot doesn't mean he's a Marine sniper or able to use rocket launchers proficiently.
Robert Jacob, why are you so reluctant to serve your country in its time of need? We understand that you have lost everything, but you must take heart in what patriotism can bring you. Our glorious leader, Kim Jong-un, will teach you to unlock your country's natural resources, bringing prosperity to all. It is a gift to you. You have forced us to examine your dedication to America's cause. Take him away!
The poor guy is the Ramirez of this game, just non-stop being told to do everything by everyone.
Jacobs.
Boone is your run-of-the-mill man of the people trying to keep public opinion on the Resistance's side, but he's in the game for like 30 minutes before he dies. There's nothing much to his character, really. He's also the only one that's like somewhat properly kitted out to fight a rebellion like this. Connor, on the other hand, is a walking ham fist, wearing a big belt buckle and a bright yellow "Don't Tread on Me" shirt.
You can thank me later.
He's the embodiment of like the mid-2000s dude bro tough guy character that everyone always thinks Call of Duty characters are. He's basically Woods from Black Ops 1 and 2, but with like none of the tact that made him interesting. He says, oh, guys in war are like robots. Well, Connor might as well be a robot, because he has no time for any emotions other than kill people!
Back from the dead, huh? This means we're set to go, right? I'm damn tired of sitting here. We got a short window to grab those tracking devices, and we shouldn't be dicking around.
It's my call. We do this right and we won't lose anybody else. Hopper will be checking in a minute. We'll meet you at the top.
Those bastards are gonna get what's coming to them.
Connor's a good man to have in a fight.
And that's all he has to say about him.
Beat
I
it,
haven't eaten
kid.
for days. I'll take anything you got.
I don't have any food. Piss off. I'm looking for a guy named Arnie.
Fuck you. Never heard of him.
Cut the shit. Show him this. Tell him Boone sent us. We're nearly there. I've been waiting to see that fucker fall since they laid the first brick.
The guy's basically a psychopath. I mean, he's spouting off one-liners.
Hail the king, baby. I thought I smelled Korean barbecue.
Jesus, Connor.
He's basically the exact type of character that Walker is supposed to be a commentary on in Spec Ops The Line.
We need to keep moving.
What? We have to get out of Montrose. Leave it! No! We don't have time to waste. We gotta keep moving.
In a realistic world, I feel like he would have been killed long ago. He's impulsive, he's calling the shots for everything, always making excuses and deflecting the blame when his stupid plans mess up. He's even listed as a wild card, which is not what you want in a situation like this.
And I'm still the wild card, so that's good.
No, guys, we're forsaking the group dynamic, okay? And truthfully, Charlie, come on. I mean, nobody wants a wild card, okay? It doesn't make any sense. We don't want a maniac in our group, but there's no benefit to it.
He's just a complete liability.
Damn it, Connor. I said don't come here. You risk starting a shitstorm right where these people live.
We had nowhere else to go. The area's crawling with KPA. The front gate should be lightly guarded. We make a lot of noise, pick a few of them off, and draw the rest out of the camp. Then we sneak in the back.
You call this lightly guarded?
Stick to the plan.
What's the plan?
Hold on, we're going through.
Connor, not again.
It's not getting away that easily.
You're chasing it?
Damn right.
What are you doing? This isn't a demolition derby.
We don't stop for shit. See how long it runs if you keep using it like a battering ram. These are good, solid trucks. It can handle it.
I feel like he secretly is self-aware and he knows that he's in a Call of Duty style action game. That said, his voice actor does a good job to where at least he has like some good moments.
God, what the fuck is this? What the fuck?
We should turn back.
Thrown into a pit like garbage. How many people are in this ditch? You sons of bitches. Scumbag motherfuckers. You motherfuckers! You think you can just throw us in a goddamn ditch?
Sentries! Stay behind the bleachers! Connor's lost it, man. We gotta take out those sentries.
I'll burn you, you sons of bitches!
We gotta make our way around the field. Get close enough to those towers to toss a grenade.
You fuckers pay for this!
Shouldn't he be wearing like a vest or a plate carrier though? Or maybe like his old army uniform, he's former military. And even when he dies, it's just him trying to act like a cool, tough guy. Like, just throw the flare down range, man. He shouldn't have been the leader, or at least, like, if he had to be, show it as like a bad thing because of how reckless he is, not make him seem like some badass action hero. This isn't the game for that. Both Connor and Rihanna are just like one-note opposing morality types, and they bicker like an old married couple.
You're getting told he's fucking back. He's backsassing you. Oh, look at that. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Here comes this bitch. Look at that. It's a fucking free-for-all. It's a free-for-all cage match.
Connor, can't you drive straight?
I'm trying! Don't you see all this shit in my way?
She's wearing the freaking bank robber from Tarkov. And her design in general is just kind of weird to me. Like, she's showing the midriff, but it's not like she acts with, like, sex appeal, like that kind of thing. It's just, I don't know, it's strange. Now, Hopper, on the other hand, is probably the best character in the game, and he's got the most potential for storytelling, given the fact that he is Korean, and he's the best avenue for any sort of natural world building just through his dialogue. On top of the fact that he usually plays the straight man, and is acting how we all would act if we were really in this situation with these bombastic Call of Duty moments.
Be careful. These sentries have a 20mm autocannon like KU band radar. The fire control
Hopper,
systems are...
shut up. Jacobs, just throw a grenade at the back of the thing.
People in here used to be doctors and lawyers. Now they're working with shale mines. Last time I was here, I saw my fucking dentist.
What do you want?
You know, you should desolder the capacitors first.
Isn't it bad enough I gotta scrape these for my food rations?
Sorry. I'm trying to help.
Payback for last night's raid.
So, this is our fault.
Shut up, Hopper.
This place brings back bad memories.
Oakland?
Yeah. Vigilante assholes just like these guys lynched anyone who looked even slightly Asian. I got lucky. They just burned my house down.
You're fucking crazy! I'm not jumping onto a moving vehicle! Sergeant, these sentries have a 20mm autocannon linked to a KU band radar! Hopper, not now!
There's also this Arnie guy that ends up betraying us like 2 minutes after we meet him, but it would have been interesting to have him be around more so we could get that insight into what it's like to have to choose between the Resistance and the Koreans, and the Koreans probably give you an easier life than the Resistance would.
Nobody move! Oh, shit.
Son of a bitch.
Fuck you, I got kids. Besides, they cut me a better deal.
We could have helped you.
It's over. Face it, the Koreans won. It's over.
It's over for you.
The gear is kind of lacking in my opinion. I don't know, this is subjective, but I just don't like the way the Resistance fighters look, or even the Survivalists. Like, they don't look like they're really set up to fight a battle like this. Like, where's your head protection? Where's your ear protection? Where are you going to carry your magazines and your medical supplies? I feel like they would have scavenged like helmets and armor from dead Koreans that they've killed. Like, even our main characters, like Connor's not wearing anything, Rihanna's barely wearing anything. I get Hopper not wearing much on him because he's obviously like a tech guy, not a fighter. The Revolution gets this right for the most part. They've got like gas masks and stuff, which I think is pretty good. They also move more like civilians that don't know how to use guns. I think the Koreans look good. It's a very iconic design, albeit a very 2000s style. Like, what would soldiers in the future look like? They got these giant, cumbersome looking Kevlar vests and these helmets with these big NVGs and stuff on. But the voice acting again is good. The lip syncing, they actually tried to put effort into it. But everyone kind of gives you these death stares from time to time, which I think is pretty funny. This then leads into Homefront's Tonal Dissonance.
In a lot of other games, you know, you blow into a place, you know, a slum or something like that, and you kill 100 people, and at the end of the level, you jump into a helicopter and fly away. You know, at the end of our levels, there's no helicopter. You have to stay and live with the things that you did.
Here's me blowing into a place like a slum or something like that, killing 100 people, then getting in a helicopter and flying away.
An average FPS, you'll blow through 30 to 100 guys every 15 to 20 minutes or so. And you sort of get this what we call massacre fatigue. When you stop even caring, you don't even realize that you're killing humans. But what we're trying to do is really attach emotion to that it actually, there are consequences to violence.
Consequences, okay, yeah. Last mission we raided a Korean fuel depot, so now they're showing how the Koreans punish the civilian population for the Resistance's victories. So in that same mission, we blow up the wall surrounding the city, drive off in a Humvee guns blazing, and leave the rest of the Resistance fighters and civilians in Montrose to pound sand or something. Because what are they supposed to do now? Again, the game should have been like an anthology of different characters. Call of Duty style perspective switching. That way, you instead of having it be one person kill 100 people, you have 4 characters that each kill 25 people. That way you still get your high body count that you get in these bombastic FPS campaigns, but it's not being done by one person and making it seem unrealistic. And if you want your bombastic Call of Duty set piece moments, then maybe switch between Jacobs as a civilian and some soldier in the US military doing Call of Duty stuff. Or even have prequel stuff showing stuff in Korea or stuff during like America's decline. Like I remember Angry Joe said there should have been a mission along the DMZ. Like a mission as a US soldier could have done that. Or maybe if Jacobs was still in the Marines, you could have that angle if you wanted to. And then it's him, it's kind of more backstory for Jacobs.
You can have missions in South Korea. You know, where our US forces are stationed. And there's no way North Korea would steamroll South Korea without a fight. You know, a multiplayer battle map on that very famous line in between North and South Korea, any kind of battle there would be awesome.
I just think it's funny how Spec Ops The Line came out a little over a year later and nailed the themes and tone that Homefront was trying to go for. That being a commentary on violence in a bombastic shooter campaign where shooting's the whole goal of the game and it's supposed to be fun. Even down to the white phosphorus scene, using that as a set piece. Oh god, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna do a Spec Ops The Line video essay. Oh no, do I make one of those? Now the game completely falls apart when we get to this survivalist camp bit.
Don't fire until I give the word, but when I do, don't hesitate.
It's an all gillied up style forced stealth section, and it's the most linear, railroady hand-holding thing you've ever played in your life. And it's here where they try to humanize the Koreans after we've been shooting them for the past 3 hours and seeing them commit atrocities left and right. Why are these guys even wasting bullets like this? This is so silly. Gentlemen, why are we out of ammo? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We had to go be evil for a minute. So, did the Koreans put giant walls around all the major cities or something? How do they do that, but they can't snuff out a survivalist camp? Like, just drone striking. What are you doing?
Got any smokes?
Just knockoffs.
Sick of that Chinese shit. If I wanted to taste cardboard, I'd smoke some fucking cardboard.
I don't know, man. I don't smoke, but these look pretty cool to me. And then, yeah, again, get into a helicopter, fly away after killing 100 people. So then for the final battle, why are we as civilians even participating in this alongside the military? And how does the military have a stronghold in San Francisco when the Koreans are as far inland as Colorado? And why are Rihanna and Hopper here? Like, Connor and Jacobs, they're former military, so that makes sense, but why are these two here? I do like the role reversal of having to fight Goliath. The thing even roars like a Metal Gear. Although again, why are we as a bunch of civilians going on a joyride in a Humvee in an active battle zone between two armies? And then now that the battle's over, the British and NATO as a whole decide maybe we should help the US out. So that's Homefront. All in all, I would say the game is fun, albeit contrary to its themes. Characters aren't great, and it's too short. It feels like half the length it should have been. Like the Golden Gate battle was like the end of Act 2 or something. Like how Modern Warfare 2 has the Battle of DC, but there was still a little bit more after that. And then a sequel bait ending. Well, where's the sequel? Unfortunately, Homefront The Revolution came out way too late after any sort of hype surrounding the series was already long gone. The game was announced in 2014, 3 years after Homefront 1, with this trailer. And this trailer is good, still like this trailer. But then the game doesn't come out until summer of 2016, 2 years after it's announced, and 5 years after Homefront 1 came out. But it is made by Crytek this time. Crytek? Oh, you tell me there's Crysis? Crysis 2 gameplay in my Homefront? Sign me up! No, instead you get open world Far Cry stronghold clearing. Oh. But it plays like Crysis though, right? Oh man, you tell me. Here's Homefront The Revolution. And here's Crysis 2. Came out the same year as Homefront 1. Now, I know I don't want super jumping and cloaking in my Homefront, but the gunplay in Crysis was fun. Fighting the cell soldiers was fun, the way they would react to you. But yeah, Homefront The Revolution took too long to release, and nobody really cared when it eventually did. And then when it did come out, it was horribly buggy and unoptimized at launch, which further hurt its reputation. I mean, freaking DSP of all people gets 1 million views off bashing the game. Rebooting the series was a mistake too. And the characters in this game are even more unlikable than in the first one. And it didn't even have PvP multiplayer. Oh yeah, multiplayer. Multiplayer was great. You had these battle points you could use to get access to gadgets and vehicles in the game, so you just whip out a rocket launcher or spawn in a tank or a drone or something. And the setting's a prequel to the campaign. It's the US Army trying to fight off the initial invasion. You had this ground control mode, which is basically front lines from Battlefield 1, where it's like a tug-of-war back and forth across the map. Now, it's obviously been ages since I was last able to play this, and nobody's playing it now, so I can't really remember if there are any big issues or if, like, balancing problems. I remember it had this cool, like, threat tier system where people would get tagged with an HVT marker when they go on kill streaks, and then get given a bounty of extra battle points when you kill them. And then as the kill streak gets higher, their threat level increases, and then that marker refreshes more often to the point where it's like basically wall hacks. So let's see, wishlist for a theoretical Homefront 3. I don't even know who has rights to the franchise anymore. Is it still Crytek? Well, they're still bugging around with Hunt Showdown, and Crysis 4 is in development hell, which is very sad. So here's my ideal game with an infinite budget, I guess. Stick with the original games universe, not the Revolutions. The Revolution's premise requires too much suspension of disbelief, because it basically makes North Korea into like Silicon Valley, like it's always been this like tech empire, which doesn't make any sense. Keep the collaborator angle though. Show us what it's like to be on the Koreans' good side and make us wonder if it's worth submitting to the occupation. as opposed to having to live with $20 gas and rioting everywhere. I am also a sucker for the giant airships. Please keep those. Try and make it a morally gray type story. Like, the resistance causes more trouble for the average American than the Koreans. Highlight the motivation why Korea has unified, as opposed to just saying, oh yeah, it happened. Give us multiple character perspectives, kind of like Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5 war stories, showing the struggles of various resistance cells across the US and various locations. And give us more varied characters, more like Hopper and less established skilled people like Connor and Jacobs. For the gameplay, I'd keep it more as like a mission-style campaign as opposed to like the Far Cry open world setup. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but make it like the newer Call of Duty campaigns. Not like Black Ops 7, more like Black Ops 5, Black Ops 6, where it's like you're doing spy stuff, like you're infiltrating sites and being more stealthy with it. And then give us more weapon variety, both in terms of military weapons, like Korean and American weapons, and then civilian weapons, like your single-shot rifles, hunting rifles, or like some aftermarket full-auto illegal conversion kit. And then you can make it where ammo is scarce for the Korean weapons, but they're very powerful and they're fully automatic. And then the American weapons are all semi-automatic civilian weapons, but they have lots of ammo. And then have it be like Infinite Warfare's specialist gameplay, which I adore, which is very hardcore with limb damage, putting helmets on, manual healing, and then show the player character's lack of weapon proficiency through the animations like Modern Warfare 2019 did. And then you can go further with that by having different characters have different levels of proficiency, and like maybe the American weapons reload faster because like you know how those work, and then the Korean weapons take longer reloads because you're not familiar with them. And bring the multiplayer back. We sorely missed that in Homefront The Revolution. We just had these stupid little co-op missions. Closest thing we've gotten to Homefront's multiplayer in recent times is World War III. Oh, World War III. You best like and subscribe, because that's coming up.
Connor, the cells in the parking lot are getting their asses handed to them. What's the escape plan? We're doubling back through the store. Just hold the line until we get there.
Do we even have an escape plan?
I'll think of something. Let's move.